The sun had long set over the small, sleepy town of Millbury, and Sarah was just about to close up the old grocery store for the night. She wiped her hands on her apron and glanced at the clock. 11:58. 2 more minutes and she could lock the doors and head home. The store had been in her family for generations, and she felt a sense of pride in keeping it running, even if it meant late nights like this one. As she turned to grab her coat, the faint tinkling of the bell above the door made her freeze. She wasn't expecting any more customers tonight. A man stepped inside, his face obscured by the shadows and a wide-brimmed hat. "Sorry, we're about to close," Sarah said, forcing a polite smile. The man didn't respond. He slowly walked down the aisles, his footsteps echoing through the empty store. Sarah felt a chill creep up her spine as she watched him. Something about him seemed off, but she couldn't quite put her finger on it. "Can I help you with something?" she called out, trying to mask her unease. The man stopped in front of the refrigerated section and turned to face her. His eyes were hollow and dark, like bottomless pits. He raised a bony finger and pointed to a carton of milk. "Is this fresh?" he asked, his voice a raspy whisper. Sarah swallowed hard and nodded. "Yes, it just came in this morning. The expiration date is printed on the carton." The man picked up the carton and stared at the date. His lips curled into a sinister smile. "Expiration dates are important, you know," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "They tell us when things are no longer good, when they go bad." Sarah nodded, her heart pounding in her chest. She wanted to get this man out of her store as quickly as possible. "Yes, they do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to close up." The man placed the carton back on the shelf and turned to leave. As he reached the door, he paused and looked back at Sarah. "Remember, some things have expiration dates too." Sarah watched as he disappeared into the night, her mind racing. She quickly locked the door and turned off the lights, eager to put the strange encounter behind her. But as she headed to the back office to collect her things, she noticed something odd. There on her desk was a small, weathered book she'd never seen before. Its cover was made of cracked leather, and the pages were yellowed with age. Curious, she opened it and found a list of names. Her blood ran cold when she saw her own name at the bottom, next to today's date. Suddenly the lights flickered, and a cold breeze swept through the room. Sarah looked up and saw the man from the store standing in the doorway, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. "Some things have expiration dates too," he repeated, stepping closer. Sarah tried to scream, but no sound came. She felt a searing pain in her chest and looked down to see her skin withering and aging before her eyes. She dropped to her knees, her strength fading fast. The last thing she saw was the man's twisted smile as he watched her life drain away. The old grocery store stood silent and dark, a stark reminder that some expiration dates should never be ignored.